It's one last hurrah for Bishop Canevin's legendary senior class. Can they get it done today against the new Flyers Cup champions? Okay, folks, let's play some Pennsylvania Cup hockey.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
At Trib Total Media, we do things right. We're the watchdogs in our neighborhoods, our region, and around the world. It's our responsibility to ask the right questions and tell every side of every story. We continue to invest in our award-winning reporters and photojournalists so they can bring it all to you. See for yourself, in print or online at triblive.com. The Trib, we do things right. Here.
Will the hockey gods be on the side of that little Catholic skull in the borough of Green Tree one more time? We shall see as Kevin Zolmanski's Bishop Canevin Crusaders take on Thomas Coyne's Central Bucks South Titans in the 2014 Class AA Pennsylvania Cup Championship. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. Matt Popchak on board with you alongside color commentator and social media analyst for the day, Ross and Santa. The Crusaders defeating North Hills, Hampton, and then in the Penguins Cup Final, Cathedral Prep for the right to play here at the brand new Pegula Ice Arena in State College, Pennsylvania, on the campus of Penn State University. The Titans defeating Council Rock North, Cumberland Valley, Parkland, which played in last year's Pennsylvania Cup Final, and then Souderton in the Flyers Cup Championship for the right to take the crown away and for the right to play here this afternoon. A big key offensively for the Titans of Central Bucks South. Leo Flick, number 45, 8 points, including 3 goals in 4 playoff games. It's a much more balanced attack for the Central Bucks South Titans than it was for a lot of teams in the Flyers Cup playoff field. For the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, they are a senior-laden team with a lot of older talent this season, also with a lot of balance, and also with one of the better clutch players in Western Pennsylvania. Randy Younger, number 16, part of Bishop Canevin's last Pennsylvania Cup championship team in the year 2011. That senior class has come full circle. They're looking for one last hurrah. Unger, 9 points in 3 playoff rounds, including 3 goals, and was among the Class AA leaders in PIHL regular season play in the category of game-winning goals. We half jokingly and half seriously refer to Unger's goals as Unger time because they usually come in big spots. They don't get much bigger than this. Unger with a huge playoff. The Adams brothers, Blaine the captain, Brennan playing forward, have also had a big playoff as well, among so many others for Bishop Canevin. The goaltending matchup going to be an intriguing one as well. For the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, multiple-time All-Star selection Nikita Meshkin minding the twine. He came off a big shutout in the Penguins Cup Final. A spectacular effort, 22 saves in victory over the Cathedral Prep Ramblers. And for the Central Bucks South Titans, it is going to be Aaron King getting the nod after allowing just 8 goals through 3 playoff rounds, an .871 save percentage, but a much more impressive 2.72 goals against average. So we've talked a little bit about the forwards, we've talked a little bit about the goaltending matchups. Meshkin, the senior, going up against King, the sophomore, who had 25 saves in that Flyers Cup Championship victory over Souderton, facing 27 shots. And really, it's all about character. Bishop Canevin has shown tremendous character throughout the season, and they had to show it hanging on against a Cathedral Prep team that was really very much their equal. The Central Bucks South Titans showing character as well, coming back from a number of deficits and posting a hard-earned victory over Souderton, a team that was enjoying a uniquely successful season. Russ and Santa, what have people been saying all day about these Pennsylvania Cup finals?
Well, it's going to be hard to top that first game. We had a lot of action in that Ruston-Quaker Valley game. Ruston taking the Class A state championship here from Pegula Ice Arena 5-2 in our first game here, but the council or the South fans, they were rowdy. They're in section 120 here at Pegula Ice Arena, making that presence known on Twitter. So they're here representing, and they are down to our left here at Pegula Ice Arena. So it looks like that they got the jerseys there. They're up against the glass. Take advantage of this opportunity to be at this multi-million-dollar facility. So they've been active there, and like you said, it's a big-time school from the east, like Council Bucks South and Bishop Canevin, and it's, you mentioned Unger on the biggest stage. This is the biggest stage right here, and let's see how these two character teams, like you mentioned, turn to adversity here when they're the best on both sides of the state. So the better team will win, like we saw in Ruston in the first game. So it'll be a good game because it is the state championship. So the best of the best are here at Pegula Ice Arena.
Yeah, another great season, a terrific season for the three-time Penguins Cup champion Quaker Valley Quakers, ending in disappointment earlier. The new Penguins Cup champions in AAA, the Peters Township Indians, will get their turn later. We are moments away, in fact just a minute away, in terms of warm-up time from the opening face-off here from the Pegula Ice Arena. And Ross, what does the hashtag people want to keep in mind, or the hashtags as it were?
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter. We'll be keeping up to date on every single game here at Pegula Ice Arena at PIHL Network on Twitter. Follow the hashtags, the hashtag PA Cup, the hashtag PIHL, and whatever else. If you're keeping tuned to us here on the PIHL Network on our live stream here at Pegula Ice Arena for all three of these PA Cup championships, make up whatever hashtags you want to do. If you're part of the Central Bucks South students, or if you're from the area, same goes with Bishop Canevin. Be active on Twitter. We will be keeping up with action here. So at PIHL Network on Twitter, the hashtags PA Cup and the hashtags PIHL.
And again, just moments away from puck drop here at the Pegula Ice Arena, right on the campus of the Pennsylvania State University. Here's State College, Pennsylvania. The Crusaders gathering around the goal to our right. And again, it'll be Aaron King, the sophomore, off to our left, getting the nod in goal for Central Bucks South. Want to congratulate the team that normally occupies this building, the Penn State men, on a fine season that just wrapped up in the Big Ten tournament. And we want to give a shout out to all the PIHL alumni, not just playing for them, but also playing for the Robert Morris University Colonials. The Kerns with a nice win last night in the AHA tournament. So they'll be playing for the championship of that conference sometime later, and right to play some college hockey, as they say, in the big dance.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed here, Matt, and I know that Canevin student section travels well. There's Gumby in the first row, so it seems like they're ready to go here from Pegula to cheer on the Crusaders.
In the immortal words of Gilda Radner, it's always something, and there is always something in that student section. And now let's meet the teams. We are ready for some hockey. Rodney Martin, the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, and the Central Buck South Titans getting ready to go in the Class AA Pennsylvania Cup Final. One last pep talk from Coach Zolmanski and one from Coach Coyne, and we are just about ready to go. Bishop Canevin again, victorious in this event 3 calendar years ago, winning over Council Rock South in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And it will be Randy Younger taking the draw for the Crusaders. And he'll be going against Jake Bauer, the senior for Central Buck South. Okay, we are set. And the Titans push it into Crusaders territory. Bishop Canevin, the white team. Central Buck South, the dark team, as Brennan Adams pushes it to the near quarter. And Dom Bova will play it to the opposite corner for the Titans. Up to the point it goes to Connor Matzinger. Matzinger putting it wide of Nikita Meshkin as Bauer is hit from behind by Brennan Adams. Backhand try from a bad angle taken by Kevin Casey. And it's taken now by the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, who move right to left on your computer screen, TV screen, or mobile device. Liam Walsh to the goal. Walsh! Oh, what a glove save by Aaron King!
My goodness, Bishop Canevin off to a quick start, getting on them early, and Central Bucks started off with good movement in the Bishop Canevin end, but the first prime scoring opportunity goes to the Crusaders.
A nifty move by Walsh, who still can't seem to buy a goal in this postseason as the puck is pushed wide of the Central Bucks South goal. Taken in the corner by Alec Bosnick. Bosnick certainly blossomed into a nice player for the Crusaders. Shot from the right, point went wide. Blaine Adams, to Alec Nat. Nat to Bosnick. It's a loose out in front, swiped at by the Titans defense. Damon De Laurentiis getting a stick on that as the puck goes to the corner. Canevin wins that battle. Bosnick trying to beat King between the legs. He couldn't as he was flattened at the bottom of the left circle. Titans back through center. And here comes Leo Flick. Flick into the glove of Nikita Meshkin. Can you top this, Mr. King?
Activity for both goalies early on, and for goalies you like to be tested. And you might as well see some rubber early on and get yourself warmed up. So good for both goalies to see some action early on.
Bova trying to push it toward the Canevin goal as he is dumped immediately. Crusaders trying to play the body early as John Mullock, the underclassman, watches it go deep into Central Bucks South territory. Titans back to center. Brennan Adams giving chase, but Casey's going to beat him to it, and Casey resets, trying to go to Bauer. Instead, it comes off a Canevin's stick and wide in back of the goal where it's taken by Jake Bauer. To the point, and a blocker save made there by Nikita Meshkin on Jared Conroy. The sophomore defenseman pulling the trigger from right point as the Crusaders from the right side get it back to center. Conroy retreating now with Jake Andreyko bearing down on him as it comes into the Canevin zone, and a good play there by Bauer on one hand. Out in front, Meshkin with a kick save there and plays it off the bounce. Pepinitis, the Canevin defenseman, without a stick, but no matter, it's cleared. Tense moment there in front of Nikita Meshkin, the senior. Brandon Spugnardi behind the goal as the broken stick is still on the ice to the left of the Canevin cage. Shot from the point, deflected off a stick and goes to the corner where it's taken by Jason Bilski. Stahl with it. Alex Stahl, the senior, unable to get it free to Brandon Clements as this puck is put wide. John Pohl behind the Crusader goal gave it away. And Canevin tries to methodically work it out of their own end. They do, and a lead pass to Liam Walsh, 1-on-3. Walsh trying to center it for Garrett Godlewski. He was too well covered. Good play there in the corner by Clements. But the puck comes to Canevin's Alec Nat. Nat along the half wall. As a man goes down to his knees for Central Bucks South, that's Brandon Spugnardi. Unger to Godlewski, to Liam Walsh. Walsh reversing the play. And now the Titans guilty of, not guilty of icing here, as they say that dump in by Pohl went off a Canevin body with 13:35 to go in a scoreless first period. Alec Nat carefully playing this puck around the boards to Blaine Adams. Adams for Randy Unger. Unger and Walsh 2-on-2. Unger over the line. Unger running out of room to shoot, and he puts one off King and into the protective netting, out of play to King's right.
It looks like early on the Central Bucks defensemen, they're pushing Bishop Canevin to the outsides. Other than that scoring opportunity early on for the Crusaders, pretty much everything has been outside the face-off circle. So the Central Bucks defensemen doing a good job outside for this game early on.
Thomas Krivak, the hero of the Penguins Cup final, getting it back to Gus Pepinitis. Pepinitis couldn't keep it in. Here the other way comes Don Bova. Bova met immediately by Blaine Adams, though, and Adams will run his man into the boards as it comes around the boards. Back for Krivak, the sophomore. Brennan Adams, the Canevin senior captain, trying to get it out. He can't, nor can Krivak, as Krivak is dumped, and here come the Titans. Centering pass, good break up there by Krivak, as Kevin Casey was right down the middle, all alone, in the lead pass now for Alec Bosnick. Bosnick one-on-one. Bosnick dangling, trying to get around Conroy. He can't. Krivak out in front. Blaine Adams too far behind the play. And the Titans gathering in, and here's Bauer up through center. Jake Bauer over the line, harassed by Adams all the way. No penalty as those two go together into the boards, pushing and shoving in front of the Canevin bench. Bouncing puck goes inside the Titans zone. And the Crusaders take it. And here's Caden Kelly. Kelly to the goal. Toe save by King. The Crusaders with some glorious chances early, but still nothing to show for it. Caden Kelly, very hard working. The grinders out here for Kevin Zolmanski, but can't pot himself that one. Under 12 to go. Still no score first period. Alec Nat from center. Onside and into the Central Buck South zone, where it's taken by Jason Bilski. Out in front it goes to Kelly, who couldn't take the centering pass. Bilski having trouble with this puck at his feet. Alec Nat trying to clean up the mess. He does, but it's taken by Mike Pilla. To the corner for Leo Flick. Flick couldn't hang on as he dumps one of the Crusaders, and Ross Langford will gain the red line and dump it in. Thomas Liberta pulling up and leading it for Flick. Flick couldn't take the pass. Flick trying to center it now for De Laurentiis. De Laurentiis behind the Crusaders' goal, kicks it to himself as he's met by Garrett Godlewski. Crusaders get it up and just barely out as it's punched at by a glove, and this is going to be a hand pass against the Titans with 11 to go, no score.
Back and forth play so far in this first period, 11:02 left. Not really like that first game we had here at Pegula Ice Arena, Matt, as by this point in the first period in that Class A game between Bayard Rustin and Quaker Valley, there was already 3 goals by now. So a defensive stalwart game so far in this Class AA game.
Brennan Adams from the boards, up through center. And Matzinger will play it behind his own goal. And he will do so for Jared Conroy. Up ahead it comes now to Alex Stahl, and the Crusaders take over and come back through center as Unger was trying to lead the charge for the Crusaders, but he was stick checked. Titans resetting the play with 10.5 to go in a scoreless first period. Walsh lets it go to Brennan Adams. Adams off a stick, and deep it comes into the Titan zone. Conroy cleaning up his own mess, intercepted by the Crusaders, and out in front it comes to Godlewski, whose shot was blocked. Unger winning that puck from Clements, and the Crusaders get it up ahead to Liam Walsh, who is well covered by Liberta. Liberta going D to D with Brandon Spagnardi. Randy Unger in front of his own bench resets the play for the Crusaders, who outletted intended for Walsh. Instead, Unger's going to take it himself, pulling back into his own end, and he'll send it just about the length. This should be an icing, but, well, it should have been an icing, but officials deem that Spagnardi could have hustled to play that puck. So we play on with 9:45 to go. Collision at center ice allows Bilski to play it, but he does so off a Titan glove. And the Crusaders win this battle as coming over the line is Krivak. Tommy Krivak on one hand, out in front. No penalty called as Krivak lost his edge. Alec Nat, his slapper, into the stomach of King. Rebound! Oh, Bosnick had his stick lifted at the last moment by Casey. Otherwise, that would have been an easy Canevin goal. And here come the Titans now. Over the line. Spagnardi on the off wing. Meshkin the easy save there. Bilski swiping at it. Up, not quite out. Alec Nat has to go deep for this puck as we approach the midpoint of the first period. Still scoreless here from Pegula Ice Arena. Lead pass for Blaine Adams. Adams trying to get around his man. He can't. And the Titans send it around the boards and in front of their student section. And near side it'll be taken by Alec Bosnick. Lead pass now for Caden Kelly. Kelly knocked down in neutral ice as we play on. This puck given away by Casey to Ross Langford. Langford behind the net. Langford with time and space resets to Pepinitis. Pepinitis shoots this bouncing puck wide of King, and King makes the save, diving to his left. Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and a proud sponsor of live PA Cup coverage on the PIHL network. Visit them at triblive.com. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe. Trib Total Media, we do things right here.
And go to the Twitter world, Matt, and looks like Jonah Graffius of Penn Trafford getting a little bit active on Twitter, talking about this game so far, so probably tuning into our coverage.
Jonah's a special young man. He was the first PIHL player to ever live tweet an archived PIHL game. He would just do it from his own living room.
That takes dedication, right?
Hockey Night Live with Jonah. And what a great season the Penn Trafford Warriors had, reaching their second Penguins Cup semifinal in 3 years and coming off just a terrible season in 12-13 where they lost a bunch of seniors, but great job by that program this season. Jake Ondrako in the corner as Langford got blasted, much to the delight of the CB South student section, and we're going to get a penalty coming up here, I think, against the Titans. We shall see. It's under 8 minutes remaining in the first period, still no score. Interference, the indication, and indeed, this is going to be Damon DeLaurentis feeling shame for 2 minutes and then getting free as the Crusaders' power play, #1 in the league during the regular season, will go to work.
It's a big opportunity early on, since this game's been back and forth with the ice tilting a little towards Canevin around these minute markers. Now they get that power play opportunity to maybe get on the board in a crucial moment of this first period.
Lead pass to Alex Stoll, who was trying for something shorthanded. A high stick on the puck and a face-off coming up in the Canevin zone. The Crusaders with 4 goals in 3 playoff rounds thus far on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. And the Crusaders control the draw and send it up to Alec Bosnick. Bosnick dumps it in off the partition, separating the glass from the CB South bench. And not much of a start to this power play for the Crusaders. Randy Unger to take the draw against Kevin Casey. Unger wins it, and it comes near side to Brendan Adams. Adams is over the line. Adams will send it around the corner, anticipating is Blaine Adams, who drops it for Bosnick. His shot off a stick and out of play. 1:27 to go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. From the doctor's office to the ice rink, UPMC Sports Medicine supports PIHO athletes throughout the season as the league's official medical sponsor. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. Unger pushes it to the boards, but the Titans are able to clear it. Brennan Adams behind his own net. Near side for Liam Walsh. Walsh, cross ice, intended for Unger. Unger has to catch up to it, and he does, but Conroy also gets there for CB South. Casey hitting Godlewski from behind. That's another penalty. Meshkin heading off for the extra man. The Crusaders try to win this puck, but they do not. In any event, a full minute of 2-man UPMC Sports Medicine power play time coming to the Crusaders as Kevin Casey will sit.
And if you're Bishop Canevin, you gotta regain the troops and take this face-off to your advantage. An offensive zone face-off after penalties, offensive zone face-offs, but I wouldn't necessarily say take your time, but like you mentioned, Matt, a minute of 5-on-3 play and an even bigger opportunity for the Crusaders in this first period. And it's when you're up 2 men, it's take advantage of your chance.
And they win the draw as it comes to Walsh. Now over to Brendan Adams. The Titans get in their triangle as it goes cross ice to Walsh again. Walsh to Unger. Unger to Liam Walsh, the freshman. Walsh inside the circle, down low. They look to go side of the net to Adams. He shoots, save made, rebound. Garrett Godlewski, it's waved off. It looked like Godlewski's stick came below the bar, and I think this might be a break for the Titans.
Yeah, surprising enough. Yeah, they're calling a high stick there, and little bit of a discussion here at center ice to the left of the Pegula Ice Arena logo. And
it was very close,
yeah.
Sorry, Ross, but it looked like Godlewski, from our vantage point, did keep his stick under the bar, and that's the rule. If it's over the bar, it's not a goal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we get a second look at this.
Outside.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have no goal. Score's going to remain 0-0, Matt, with 6:39 left.
And the Crusaders win the faceoff in their own end. And here comes Randy Unger into the offensive zone. Unger pulling back. Crusaders have to roll up their sleeves again. Brennan Adams from the circle for Randy Unger. Unger faking, shooting, it's blocked. Brennan Adams gets there though for the Crusaders. 15 to go in the two-man. Adams, side of the net from a bad angle, couldn't get anything going there, and here the other way shorthanded comes Brendan Clements. Clements with space. That space taken away by Unger. And now it's a conventional power play as Unger tries to lead it for Liam Walsh. Picked up instead by Garrett Godlewski. Godlewski over the line. Godlewski trying to center it for for Bilski rather. And Godlewski almost had an opportunity as Clements overskated the puck, but the Titans are able to clear it. Oh, strange sequence there. Unger from his own end. 40 to go in the UPMC Sports Medicine power play, and a neutral zone trap here for the Titans. King knocks it aside. Titans unable to clear. Here's Walsh. Walsh putting on the moves for Unger. Unger dropping for Bosnick. Bosnick to Unger. Unger behind the net for Walsh. Walsh out in front. One-timer Adams couldn't get there. He was too well covered. Bosnick for Unger. Unger side of the net trying to go to Adams. It's broken up. Good job defensively by the Central Buck South penalty kill, and that should just about do it. A huge boost of momentum for the Titans, who may be, arguably in the process, get a call, and we remain scoreless with under 5 to go in the period. Andrejko had trouble with that one, and Jake Bauer comes the other way for the Titans. Bauer over the line. Meshkin the save as it goes off his mask. Bilski in the corner to Casey at the half wall. Casey putting it wide of the Crusaders' net. Near side it comes to Krivak. Bilski for Krivak. And now back to Jason Bilski, who's met by two men, but he gets it up to Langford, and Langford will one-touch it for Jake Andrejko. Andrejko taken out of the play, and it comes back to center as Casey is able to chip it up to himself, and now to Jake Bauer. Bauer, left wing circle, off Meshkin's glove, save made. It's loose and cleared away by Alec Nat. Oh, close play there, and a penalty coming up here, and we could have coincidental minors.
But a good job there by Alec Nat. He's looked strong early on, a scoring opportunity in the Central Buck South end a few minutes ago, throwing a puck on net and a second chance opportunity for them, and clearing out the net right there by Nat. So a two-way style for him early on in this game.
The penalties are coincidental as Ross Langford and Connor Matzinger, the defenseman, go off here, so it remains conventional 5-on-5 hockey. Under 4 to go in the first period, still no score in the face-off controlled by the Titans. Good dangle there by Brandon Spagnardi as the Crusaders get it back to center. Pilla in on Meshkin, who plays it conservatively for a face-off. Thomas Coyne calling for a line change before the offensive zone draw. And De Laurentiis is going to be called back to the bench, and it's going to be Dom Bova to take it instead against Alec Bosnick. Bosnick, the Bishop Canevin sophomore, sending it to the boards as it comes left point for Spagnardi. To the corner for Kevin Casey. Casey out in front. Couldn't outmaneuver the last wave. Pepinitis helping out his goaltender. And Pepinitis blocks a shot there between the circles. He has it, and he gets it free to Bosnick, who gets it back to the red line. Gus Pepinitis turned around by Bova. Puck in the corner to Brennan Adams. Titans able to keep it inside the offensive zone with 3 to go in the period. As Liberta watches it go back into Central Buck South territory. Spagnardi with one of the Crusaders, John Mullock, bearing down on him, will get it up ahead. And Spagnardi just going to take it himself as he comes over the Canevin line. Good hip check there by Alec Nat to send it free to Walsh. Walsh centering for Randy Unger. Unger interfered with from behind. Penalty coming up against the Titans. Fans wanting embellishment. Instead, it'll be a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Again, for the Crusaders, who are 0 for 2. From the doctor's office to the ice rink, UPMC Sports Medicine supports PIHO athletes throughout the season as the league's official medical sponsor. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
Looks like Mike Pilla is going to go to the box for Central Buck South on that tripping call, and Canevin again to the power play, as you mentioned, Matt.
2:40 remaining. First period, still scoreless here in the Pennsylvania Cup Class AA final. And it's won by the Titans and cleared. Brennan Adams there to cut that one off and neutral ice. Godlewski entering the zone. The All-Star senior pulls up, dropping to Blaine Adams for Randy Unger. Unger and Brennan Adams switch points. To Unger it comes, one-timer wide of King. Brennan Adams, left side now, cranks one side of the net. Oh, fanned on by Walsh. Adams knew what he was doing. Walsh just couldn't get a clean stick on it. 2 minutes to go in the period. 1:20 to go in the minor penalty for tripping to Mike Pilla. Traffic in the neutral zone created, and the Titans might have a chance shorthanded. Centering pass to Clements. Clements scores! The penalty kill generating momentum in this first period for Central Buck South as the Crusaders concede the first goal of the game, and it is Brandon Clements nuzzling that nylon.
That's a tough blow for Bishop Canevin, and a bad turnover right actually in between the two benches here at Pegula Ice Arena on the far side of your stream, as most of you have noted if you're watching this game. And a great job there by Brendan Clements to bury the puck when the opportunity is given for them to put his team up late in this first period. His
second goal of the postseason and first activity of any kind on special teams. Liberta, the helper. Still a minute to go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Crusaders, but Conroy is able to get it deep. So, not a fortuitous first period thus far for the Crusaders, who looked, from our vantage point, like they had a man advantage goal of their own. Then they give up a shorty and find themselves behind 1-0 late in the first. Lead pass intended for Alec Nat, taken by Conroy instead and sent the length of the ice. Jason Bilski to settle it down. And Caden Kelly will dump it into Central Buck South territory. Spagnardi with it from his corner. And Alec Nat will play it to the Canevin bench as the power play is about to expire. But Liberta has it for Central Buck South, and a bad giveaway there to Godlewski, but he couldn't catch up to the puck. Godlewski to the corner, and out in front for Caden Kelly, who can't wrap it in. Crusaders resetting with half a minute to go in the period. Alec Nat up ahead for Caden Kelly. And a bouncing puck eludes Bilski as it's touched now by Walsh, or by Nat, I'm sorry. 10 seconds to go. Caden Kelly with it. Gets it back to center for Unger. Unger with 6 seconds left. He's got to hurry, and he's not going to have time to get anything going, it looks like, as the Titans get it back to center. Again, a tough first period for the West, as Brandon Clements has the only goal of action thus far, a shorthanded marker, and it is Central Buck South Titans 1, Bishop Canevin Crusaders nothing through 1, with Ross and Santa, Matt Popchak, and you're watching a special edition of Trib Total Media Hockey Night as we present the Pennsylvania Cup live on the PIHL Network.
I grew up here, and it's really important for me to make sure that I stand up for the people of Western Pennsylvania. The work that we do is not to just go out and win awards or make names for ourselves, but it's to go out and actually do things that are going to make this region better and actually help the people who live here. What's the truth? What's honest? What's accurate? Our job in the newsroom is just to tell these stories honestly and accurately so that readers can take the information and go out and make their own decisions.
The Trib. Get it right. Now.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL Network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
The goal drought for the Bishop Canevin Crusaders is now 3 full periods and change. Brandon Clements, the only goal of that first frame, a shorthanded marker. And the Central Buck South Titans, the Flyers Cup champions, lead the Penguins Cup champions 1-0 entering the second period. 3 UPMC Sports Medicine power plays to the Crusaders, but nothing to show for it, save for a disallowed goal that maybe should have been. Conroy battling in his own corner as the team switch sides for period 2, and Ross and Santa will be checking back in with us momentarily as the Crusaders set it up out in front. Krivak too well covered by Casey to get that clean shot on Aaron King, and coming the other way is Jake Bauer, who puts it into the protective netting behind Nikita Meshkin.
And Matt, we're going to go back to the Twitter universe, and it looks like our buddy Jonah's striking again, and he's definitely keeping tabs with this game, and mentioning on that Brandon Clements goal in the neutral zone, mentioning how Bishop Canevin needs to be a little bit tighter in the neutral zone, in their neutral zone play, and for good reason. I discussed that, how that's a tough and bad turnover for them, leading to that shorthanded goal.
Early moments of the second period as the Crusaders look for atonement. For those of you watching this game live, we thank you for doing so, and we invite you to stick around for some special ice cut programming in 16 minutes or so hockey time, as we will take a look at last year's Class AA Pennsylvania Cup Championship. And for those of you watching on tape delay, we invite you to be patient, as third period action will be right around the corner as Meshkin makes an unconscious save there on Brendan Clements, who has the only goal thus far. And here comes Clements again. He's a man possessed, and he puts it into Meshkin's stomach, and the senior covers as Alec Nat goes at it with John Pohl.
And Alec Nat's been all over the place. I touched on him in the first period. He's been strong defensively down low, and let's see how Nat is utilized later on in this game now that they are down 1.
Bishop Canevin, not a team with a conventional junior varsity program, so if you are a freshman who wants to play hockey for that school, and if you're good enough to play and you prove it to Kevin Zolmanski, he'll find you ice time. Big selling point for that program. Off the face-off, it comes to the boards, where it's sent deep by Garrett Godlewski, and this will be icing against the Crusaders with 16 exactly to go to the ice cut.
Now, I do ask you, Matt, that there is hybrid icing here in high school hockey. It's been brought up in the NHL. What are your thoughts on the hybrid icing?
It's serving its purpose in terms of cutting down on the number of injuries, and sometimes unfortunate plays do happen in that context, but at the same time, you hear the older players, the NHL veterans like Brooks Orpik, who say that takes away an aspect of the game. You know, you can go back and you can catch up to that loose puck and create some offense if you have the legs. And So there's that other side of it, the people who think that it takes some of the offense out of the game, which isn't completely wrong.
You can still do that.
But safety first, that has been the direction that the PIHL and EPIHA have followed for a very long time. And the nice thing, though, about icing at this level is you can still make a line change. So that lends itself to strategy sometimes. Sometimes teams will ice pucks by design so they can get some fresh legs on, and they'll take their chances with a face-off. Coach Coyne wanting full substitutions. Coach Zilmansky the same. Face off to the right of Nikita Meshkin. Early second period, 1-0 lead for the Titans. And it is 1 to the boards for Mike Pilla. And officials losing sight of it. And so we'll do it again. Pilla wide of Meshkin off the draw. And it comes back to center. And Flick will send it deep into Bishop Canevin territory. Jason Bilski behind the Canevin goal. Bilski into the corner for Alec Nat. And up through center comes Nat. John Mullock trying to play it for Bishop Canevin. Pilla overtaken by Nat. Nat settling it down, trying to lead it for Caden Kelly. In on King, who makes an easy save there off the deflection. Leo Flick up and out, and this will be icing against the Titans with 14 to go to the ice cut.
Remember, those of you tuning in, tune into to our coverage on Twitter here at Pegula Ice Arena for all 3 of these PA Cup championships at Pegula Ice Arena, at PIHL Network on Twitter. Use the hashtags PA Cup or PIHL.
Clean face-off win for the Crusaders. Blaine Adams behind the net for Alec Bosnick. Taken instead by Conroy and sent out of play. Bosnick set to take the draw just outside the Central Buck South zone with the Titans leading 1-0 early in the second period. John Pohl wins it to his defenseman, Connor Matzinger, who goes cross ice for Conroy. And it goes deep into Canevin territory now. Brendan Adams with his back to the play, trying to get it around John Pohl, who was forechecking. Pohl with it. Matzinger trailing the play. Matzinger has it between the circles, but his shot is blocked. And Adams leads a play in transition for Bishop Canevin. 2-on-2. Bosnick for Krivak. Krivak wide of the goal. A good positional hockey there on the back end by Central Buck South. Stahl with it. Up ahead of everybody, and Brendan Adams will settle it down off a body. And Pohl doesn't know where it is, and the big forward will be escorted to the boards as Bosnick gets it into the offensive zone for Bishop Canevin. But here's some time and space now for the Titans as Stahl comes in and puts it on Meshkin. Funny bounce there, cleared away by the alert Brendan Adams. Captains have to make the little plays too, and we get a penalty coming up here against the Titans.
Just doesn't seem like Canevin is able to, they're having trouble entering the zone and just getting things settled in the Central Buck zone. It's just they can't, transition game is off, communication is off, and maybe that waved off goal in the first period might have had to do a little bit with their psyche, that what can we do to get a puck in.
Another UPMC Sports Medicine power play would be helpful. The Crusaders 0 for 3 thus far, and they've given up a goal. Brendan Clements, a shorty, the only goal of the game so far. Garrett Godlewski over the line with Randy Younger playing the middle and Liam Walsh playing the right side. And Walsh has it for Bishop Canevin. Out in front, oh, just wide of Godlewski, who almost got that one back. Unger between his legs. Nobody there to take the pass, and it's cleared by Kevin Casey. 1:30 to go in the minor penalty to John Pohl. 12:22 left in the second. Up ahead, it's sent to Walsh, taken away by Casey. For Bosnick. Bosnick having trouble getting it out of his own zone as Liberta sends it deep. Bilski near side defensively for Bishop Canevin. Looking to go to Unger. Instead, he'll just dump it inside the offensive zone where Matzinger plays it around the boards for Casey. Instead, it's trapped by Unger. Unger behind the Titans goal. Puts on a move, now puts on the brakes, dangles out in front. It's loose and cleared away behind Bosnick. 40 to go in the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Bilski off the boards for Walsh. Walsh has a step. Walsh to the goal. Walsh putting it just wide. Liam Walsh still snake bit. Bosnick to Unger. Unger surveying the play, dropping for Alec Bosnick. Bosnick for Randy Unger again. Unger, wrister, score! Rise and shine, it's Unger time here in Penn State. And the Crusaders finally, after struggling on special teams, are back in it.
And Randy Unger, he's a leader for this team and a offensive threat for a reason. And trouble there for Central Bucks, leaving a scoring threat like Unger wide open. Let him just walk in. You can't give him time and space to just do whatever he well pleases. And because of that, it's 1-1.
The Crusaders have life, and so does their student section. A UPMC Sports Medicine power play goal. And the Titans nearly getting it back, and they do! That's a crusher. What do they tell you at every level of hockey? Be ready for the first shift after a goal, regardless of who scores the goal, and it's Pilla getting it right back for Central Bucks South. That's a bad job by the Crusaders off that faceoff.
And you just put that correctly, Matt. When something happens on one end, normally the next shift, as you noted, something happens on the other end, and it's a tough blow when you just get on the board because of that lack of special team success for Bishop Canevin, and a tough goal to let up there here in the second period.
Unger trying to outmuscle Bauer off the faceoff. He can't. Bosnick and Godlewski getting this assists on the Crusaders. UPMC Sports Medicine power play goal as Blaine Adams comes back. Adams behind the Titans net. Adams trying to go out in front. Langford picks it up. So Flick has his 9th point of the playoffs as the Titans get it back to neutral ice. Alec Nat getting it back to neutral ice as the Titans reset. Up ahead it comes now for Bova. Bova trying to lead it for Casey. Offside. So for Pilla, his 3rd of the postseason. And for Randy Unger, his team leading 4th. And 3rd on special teams, for that matter, for the Canevin senior. (2-1) the lead now for Central Bucks South with 10:06 to go to the ice cut as the Titans control the draw and send it into Canevin territory. Adams off the glass, back to center. Unger in deep, going after it. And Unger gets there, or does he? No, they call it late icing. Boy, that right hand was raised awfully late by this USA Hockey crew. Sometimes you have to play 2 teams. That's just the way championship hockey goes. De Laurentiis to take it. And it's pushed to the boards. Peponitis for Walsh, now for Unger. Unger in over the line. Unger trapped, drops it for Godlewski. Unger hit by De Laurentiis as Godlewski got checked up high and lost his stick. Unger not giving up on the play. Wraps around, can't beat King, who made an unconscious save with his left leg. Give that kid an orange jumpsuit. That's the save of the game so far. Unger had him beat. Walsh with it for Garrett Godlewski. The Crusaders keeping their heads up despite surrendering that quick goal. And finally, the Titans are able to win possession, and skating it back the other way is Pilla, the man who got it. Pilla down low, backhand run, Meshkin, who makes a beautiful save of his own on Leo Flick. And he is always dangerous from down low. That's a tough play to give up for the Crusaders. Spagnardi through center for Central Buck South. Into the zone, he has room, he shoots, Meshkin the save, rebound, batted out of midair, and controlled by the Titans. Good hustle here by Central Buck South in the offensive zone. The Crusaders, though, go to work defensively with those pitchforks, and they get it back to center. Matzinger over the line for the Titans, dropping, but the pass broken up, and Walsh tries to send it up ahead for Godlewski, who had his stick lifted. Meshkin making a save along the side of the net. Here come the Titans with the rebound. It's reset to Matzinger, who puts it wide of everything. Conroy, right point, behind the net. Jake Kellenson couldn't catch up to that puck as Pepinitis goes hard into the glass, and Unger will get there for Bishop Canevin. Unger up ahead to Walsh. Walsh just dumps it in, and Zomanski wants to make a line change midway through the second period. Lead pass now, intended for Stahl. Bilski's going to get there instead, and Bilski run into by one of the Titans. Taken now by Clements. Clements taken off the puck. Canevin might have a two on one rather if it hurries, and if I can untie my tongue, as Adams gives Conroy a late shove after losing the puck. Bilski from his own blue line, trying to go to Bosnick. Clements sends him on his keister. Bilski beyond the officials' crease, trying to play this puck into the offensive zone. And he does so, but right to Liberta. Sent it deep by the Titans. Bilski. Near side of Krivak. Krivak up, not out. And now it comes out as Liberta had a little trouble with that one. Spagnardi with it for Central Buck South. As it comes now to Thomas Krivak. Krivak into the corner. Krivak trying to pry it loose, and he does as he's trapped by Spagnardi. Bilski from the point, in on King, who covers with 6:40 to go. Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and a proud sponsor of Trib Total Media Hockey Night and live PA Cup coverage here on the PIHL Network. Visit them at triblive.com. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe. Trib Total Media, we do things right here. Langford against Bauer, and Langford wins it as Adams deflects it off Langford's stick and right into the glove of Aaron King.
Yeah, Central Bucks ever since that second goal really testing Meskin on the other end of the ice to our left here at Pegula Ice Arena, and they got a sign of life after that second goal.
Shot 16-11 in favor of CB South as it comes to Bova, but it's kicked at by Jacob Ondrejko, I'm sorry. Mullock fighting in the corner for that puck as it comes loose near corner now to Connor Matzinger. Matzinger up ahead to Dom Bova. Well, that's Jack Bauer between the circles and taken off the puck as Pepinitis comes back for Bishop Canevin. Pepinitis trying to thread the needle. He does, but he loses the puck. Langford kicking it to himself and gets run into by Bauer. Around the glass it comes, but not quite out. Good keep by Pepinitis. The other number 5, Jake Bauer, with help from Dom Bova, is able to clear it. Bilski getting turned around there. And Bilski putting a move on Kevin Casey. Near side it comes to Mullock. And now an offside call as Casey was a step ahead of the play. From the doctor's office to the ice rink, UPMC Sports Medicine supports PIHL athletes throughout the season as the league's official medical sponsor. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. And in behind the net it comes for Spagnardi. Unger putting a body into him. Garrett Godlewski fighting for this puck as well. And it'll be Unger working it loose for the Crusaders. But Damon DeLaurentis has it for Central Buck South. DeLaurentis gets wiped out by Pepinitis. And the Titans have to retreat and settle this puck down with 5 to go to the ice cut, leading 2-1. Liberta had his pocket picked nearly by Liam Walsh as the puck is into the Canevin bench and out of play. Unger to take the ensuing draw against Pohl, who helped set up that go-ahead goal by Mike Pilla. Unger, or Walsh rather, playing it for Godlewski from left to right. That shot pass goes awry, and here come the Titans in transition. Clements over the line. Pohl poking at it. Alec Nat with it now for Bishop Canevin. Nat tied up now, tries to get it free to Walsh, and Walsh swipes at it up ahead for Unger. Unger building speed through center, triple teamed, and smacked into up high by Conroy as it comes around the boards for Clements. Alec Nat trying to catch up to him, he does, and puts him into his own bench. Crusaders get this puck back to center, where it's taken by Godlewski. Godlewski off a stick, taken now by Unger, who doesn't know where it is, and here the other way comes CB South. Jared Conroy gets it deep. Bilski waiting for it as Stahl puts a body into him, and Stahl has it for the Titans. Not for long, though. Bilski wins it right back for Garrett Godlewski, who had to reach back to play that puck. Bauer around Bilski, who doesn't have his stick now. Advantage Titans, out in front it comes, and Stahl couldn't finish the play. Bilski with his hand trying to play it legally in his own zone to Randy Unger, and Unger helps out his defenseman as he sends it up ahead, and this will not be icing. Walsh going after it, but Spagnardi protects the puck from him nicely. Brandon Spagnardi building speed. Spagnardi through the circle. Spagnardi interfered with penalty coming up against the Crusaders. And now the Titans will go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play with 3:16 left in the second, leading 2-1.
And good enough timing for the Titans that they've recently started to generate more clear offensive scoring opportunities in the second period, and now they'll get that man advantage, as you noted there, Matt, and maybe try to take a 3-1 lead into the second intermission.
Adams tied up on the draw as it comes to the point for Liberta, for Spagnardi. Top of the circle to Pilla, to Spagnardi, for Pilla. Pilla waiting, watching, shooting, wide of Meshkin's blocker. It comes back to center with under 3 to go in the period, 1:40 to go in the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Brendan Adams off for slashing. And a lead pass now intended for Leo Flick, broken up by Nick Rajakovic and cleared back through center by Gus Pepinitis. Krivak looking for this one. And it comes back to the Canevin bench for Flick. Flick over the line. Leo Flick from a bad angle. Flick to the corner for Matzinger. Matzinger to Pilla. Pilla up top for Connor Matzinger. And Matzinger was offside. Meshkin makes the save, but I think Canevin got a call there.
Yeah, the Central Buck South fans right below us here at Pegula Ice Arena not too happy, and in a little bit of a disgust and a slight chant towards the referees, but they still got 56 seconds left in this power play, so plenty of time left to generate some opportunities.
2:10 to go to the ice cut. And Meshkin makes a great save there as Casey was ready, and now he's working in tandem with Bova. Side of the net it goes. Oh, good poke check there. A good read by Alec Nat. Bauer has his stick tied up, and the Crusaders try to poke it up ahead and get Langford going the other way shorthanded. They can't. Loose between the circles and swiped at by Bilski. He can't get it out. 25 to go in the minor penalty to Adams, and sent up ahead now. And with time and space is Bosnick. Bosnick driving the net. Bosnick save made, rebound. Bosnick has it, but he's taken out of the play. Good effort there by King in goal. The sophomore continuing to play well for CB South as he plays this bouncing puck off his own body. And that will do it for the Titans man advantage. And a little Murphy dump here intended for Walsh. Instead comes to King, the goaltender. And the first man of this puck is going to be Bauer for CB South. Final minute to play in the second period. 2-1 Titans. Unger with it. Between the circles. Poke checked and now taken down. And here the other way comes Kevin Casey. Casey. Centering pass. Side of the net. What a save by Meshkin! With the toe! 35 to go. And it's a 50-50 battle right next to the We Are Penn State sign. And the battle was eventually won by the Titans as Bova was camped out in front. They couldn't find him though, and this centering pass goes awry. 18 seconds left. Liberto wide of Meshkin. The rebound comes right to Bauer. Bauer wristing one off Meshkin's glove and wide. High stick on the puck. Liberto touches it, and the faceoff will come outside Canevin territory.
Man, what a save by Meshkin there to keep this deficit only at 1, and that would be a tough deficit to be down going into the second intermission for this Bishop Canevin team. And the Meshkin and net has been solid for them all season, so a big save for the senior netminder for the Crusaders.
His team is trailing, but he and his counterpart, Aaron King, are really dialed in this game. It's been a defensive struggle. 9.2 seconds left. Face-off win for the Crusaders. Walsh for Brendan Adams. Adams through a sea of humanity and cleared up but not out. 2 seconds left. One last chance. And a blocker saved by King at the horn. Oh boy. Through 2. The East looking to make it 2 for 2. It is the Central Buck South Titans 2 and the Bishop Canevin Crusaders 1. With Ross and Santa, Matt Popchak on board with you from the Pegula Ice Arena at Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania. More Pennsylvania Cup action to come here in Class AA after this special live edition of Trib Total Media Hockey Night. A spot break and then more hockey. It's all here on the PIHL Network.
At Trib Total Media, we're relentless in seeking and reporting the truth. We ask the tough questions and never give up until we uncover the complete story, and then report it to you, accurately. Sure, we lean to the right with our editorial opinions, but when it comes to hard news, we're right down the middle. The Trib. Conservative views, objective news. Get it right. Now.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL Network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
With Ross and Santa, and with gobs of fresh fruit and salad at our disposal, Matt Popchak back on board with you as we are partying like it's 1996 at the Pegula Ice Arena here on the campus of Penn State University in State College, Pennsylvania. The Central Buck South Titans clinging to a 2-1 lead over the Crusaders of Bishop Canevin. A sharp contrast to the first game we saw, in which one team, the Bayard Ruston Knights, was able to get off to a fast start and use its forecheck to kind of bury the Quaker Valley Quakers early. In this one, we've seen a lot of back and forth. We've seen both teams really have to scrap for offense, and we've seen some great goaltending.
Oh yeah, definitely noted of that great goaltending, and specifically Nikita Meskin for the Crusaders. Yes, he's given up 2 goals, but 18 saves for the senior netminder for Bishop Canevin, and they've been contested shots. That's always something of note, because goalies can make simple saves here and there, a left pad save, an easy glove save, but these have been shots on net, second chance, third chance opportunities that he's been able to make. And you noted in that second period the brilliant left toe save by Meskin over to our left in front of, funny enough, the Penn State hockey student section, the Roar Zone here at Pegula Ice Arena, and he's been phenomenal to say the very least, but his team is down 2-1.
And that is because Brendan Clements scored shorthanded late in period 1 with 1:50 to go, to be specific, to give the Titans a 1-0 lead through 1. Garrett Godlewski had an apparent goal disallowed on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play prior to that, and the Titans were able to kill off a 2-man advantage. Period 2, Unger struck back on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play with 5:52 gone by from Bosnick and Garrett Godlewski, Alec Bosnick that is, and 13 seconds later the Crusaders weren't ready for the ensuing face-off. The Titans showing some good hop, get a chance down low, and Mike Pilla right out in front, gave the Titans the lead right back, set up by Damon De Laurentiis and Leo Flick. For Flick, his 9th point of the postseason, and that is where we stand right now.
And we'll go to the Twitter world. Follow us at PIHL Network on Twitter for up-to-date coverage here at Pegula Ice Arena for the Pennsylvania Cup Championships here at the home of the Penn State University Nittany Lions hockey team, the multi-million-dollar Pegula Ice Arena in its inaugural season here in Happy Valley. And like I said, we will take to the Twitter world and the Central Buck South Titans student section down to our left up against the glass. Says 17 minutes separate us from a state championship using the hashtag PA Cup. So they're ready. They're prepared. It's still 17 minutes left. They're only up 1, but the student section has been active in this game so far for the Titans, and they can feel it. They can feel that Pennsylvania Cup championship.
They seek the first in that program's history. The Crusaders are trying to win their second in 4 years. Want to give a special shout out. First of all, you mentioned, Ross, Penn State men's hockey. Their season just wrapped up, and we thank them for letting us use this building and helping us set up our live coverage of the 2014 Pennsylvania Cup. We'll be back here for 2015's Pennsylvania Cup as well. And shout out to Courtney Walters and friends for watching the broadcast from Western Pennsylvania today. And shout out as well to Andrew Stockey of Channel 4 Action Sports. Great PIHL coverage by our friends at Channel 4 all season long. The first and only of the local TV stations to have PIHL final scores on their sports crawl banner on a nightly basis. And you can catch Andrew Stockey weeknights on the 11 o'clock cast on WTAE TV. Again, Channel 4 back in Pittsburgh. Now, Ross, what do you think the coaches are saying as we get ready for period 3?
I mean, there's, like you said, teams have been back and forth in this game so far, so there's nothing really to pinpoint. But the one thing I will note in that was that Clements shorthanded goal in the first period. Bishop Canevin needs to buckle down in their neutral zone play, because they can't afford any more goals because they are already down 1. I mean, their netminder's already doing a good enough job in net. Can't really put even more pressure on Meskin's plate that he has been so far. And another thing I'd tell the Crusaders is, and then with Central Bucks, don't really do anything different. I mean, don't sit back and relax. yes, you have the lead right now, but you don't want to sit comfortably with a 1-goal lead because anything can happen in this game of hockey. Puck can be thrown on net, it can hit off a tooth, it can hit off a nose, it can hit off a helmet, what have you, and a puck could go in and this game could be tied. So keep putting on the pressure for Bishop Canevin. Lock down your neutral zone play in the third period.
The Titans control it, but the Crusaders take it away. And here's Randy Unger getting immediately double-teamed. And it seems like every time one of Canevin's star forwards has had the puck in the offensive zone, there have been at least 2 and sometimes more men right in his grill. Both the Eastern teams that we've seen thus far playing stifling defense to a man here at Penn State today. Randy Unger's turnaround shot, well wide. Garrett Godlewski fighting for it as it's bouncing around in the circle and settled down finally by Bova. Bova gaining the red line and dumping it off Bilski's glove and deep into Crusader territory as Thomas Coyne calls for an early line change. His team leading 2-1 here in the third period, and a steal there by Spagnardi, who is tripped. Penalty coming up against Bishop Canevin. Aaron King heading off. Extra attacker going to come over the boards as the Titans score on the delayed call. Leo Flick, his name is Leo, and he dances over to the Central Buck South bench to celebrate a huge insurance marker with not even a minute gone by in the third.
I guess they had a wiretap to what I said not too long ago, Matt, that not to sit back. They bring the pressure, a delayed penalty called, so they were going to go on the power play, but they know that a 1-goal lead isn't safe enough, and Central Buck South with the 2-goal lead now piling forward and moving on.
Titans goal scorer number 45, Leo Flick. Assist number 2, Thomas Laperta, time to goal, 55 seconds. That's Flick from Laperta, time to goal.
The goal nullifies the penalty, but the more important thing is that the Central Buck South Titans have a 2-goal bulge, and that might be enough to win this game, the way they're playing defense and the way that Aaron King has been tending goal. And what a year the sophomore continues to have for his club. This puck sent deep into the corner, and the Crusaders guilty of icing with 15:47 to play in regulation. For those of you watching on tape delay, we will have post-game interviews with the victors before we leave you. For those of you watching live, we will leave you as Ross and Santa will handle goodbyes and whatnot. And then we will be coming right back for the finale of Pennsylvania Cup Saturday, the AAA game between the Peters Township Indians and the 4-time Flyers Cup champion LaSalle Explorers. Around the boards it comes, and Brennan Adams unable to flag that one down. This is going to be icing against the Titans now as the teams trade offensive zone face-offs early in the third period. And I wonder, Ross, if the general unfamiliarity of an opponent could have anything to do with.
I mean, that's always the case in these East versus West battles. I can attest to that when playing in the state championship my junior year in baseball, different sports, but it always happens though.
And Liam Walsh has gone to the cash register, pulled out a few dinero, and finally bought himself a goal in the Pennsylvania Cup. And that's a huge marker for the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, Ross.
And that's interesting. I don't know if that was a design play or it was just shot off the wall and squeaks there right in front, buries it in front. You know that Joe Louis Arena in Detroit is known for its lively boards behind the nets, and Pegula Ice Arena not really known for that here, but Bishop Canevin takes advantage of it.
Walsh was coming back again, but he couldn't find Godlewski. Bilski the helper, and here comes Walsh again. Walsh, the freshman, over the line, left it for Unger. Unger to the corner, trying to go back to Walsh. Walsh takes a step to his right to catch up to it. Godlewski tied up by Spagnardi, and taking it now is Clements for Central Buck South. So we've still got a hockey game with 14:45 to play. Clements rocking and firing. That was blocked. And so was the follow-up by Alec Nat. Funny bounce there off a Central Buck South forechecker, but the Crusaders are able to control it anyway and slowly bring it back to center. Lead pass for Walsh again. Taken out of the play by Clements. Clements over the line. Clements dangling. Couldn't get around the last wave there. That was Pepinitis. No, Nat, I'm sorry. Camped out in the circle. Lead pass now for Randy Unger as the Titans are changing lines. Unger over the line as that takes a bounce off Conroy's stick and goes wide. Caden Kelly, the hard-working youngster, staying on here for Kevin Zilmansky. For Unger. Unger breaking in. Unger trying to toe drag, couldn't get the shot away. Penalty coming up against the Titans, and the Crusaders will have a chance to pull even here with still a lot of time left in regulation on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. So amazingly, after giving up a goal that we thought might be a crusher, the Crusaders have really turned the tide.
And you thought that the ice was tilting in the Titans' way with that quick goal here in the third period, but it's reversed all the way back the other way, tilting towards Bishop Canevin. Now that goal by Liam Walsh, and then now a power play opportunity, might be able to tie this game with tons of time left in the third.
The Crusaders have scored once on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play, and they have to reset now as this puck was played with a high stick. Face-off should come in Canevin territory, and it does. 13:49 to play. Connor Matzinger, the sophomore, getting the gate for Central Buck South. The Bishop Canevin Crusaders with a little more optimism now. After netting that goal by Liam Walsh at even strength and now operating 5-on-4. Unger around Spagnardi. Unger trying to get around Bova as well. He does. Unger behind the net now. Randy Unger for Liam Walsh near side. Walsh resetting to Brendan Adams. Adams cross ice to Bosnick. Side of the net. Walsh fanned on it. To the point for Brendan Adams. Adams back for Liam Walsh. Walsh in on net. Save. Rebound. King doesn't know where it is. Brendan Adams had his stick tied up by Spagnardi, who in one motion escorted that puck into his goaltender's glove.
Let's go back to the Twitter world, Matt, and we're going to go directly back to a very popular name on this broadcast so far, our buddy Jonah. He's calling Randy Unger to tie this game up, already with a goal in this game for the Crusaders, so I guess he's trying his chance at predicting who scores here.
Well, we always say he's Mr. Clutch, and he has the puck now for Bishop Canevin. Let's see what he can do with the remainder of this UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Walsh, right hash, cross ice for Unger. The pass just didn't connect, and an easy clear there for CB South. Bosnick picks it up, and he'll lead the play now for Bishop Canevin, trailing 3-2 with 12:35 to go in regulation. Unger interfered with as his shot is put on King, and it's juggled and held as Adams might have been slashed at the end of that play. He lost his glove and his stick, and he's doubled over now.
Yeah, well, it looks like when he was crashing, that gave a little last-second poke there, so maybe it's a I'll give you what you just gave my netminder. So it's teams always back up their players, especially their goaltenders. When goaltenders get a little bit of extracurricular activity after the whistle, you might as well get what you give.
Kevin Casey trying to tie his man up along the boards, and he gets it loose to Conroy. And Jared Conroy is up ahead shorthanded and putting it wide of Nikita Meshkin. That was a hard shot that just missed. Bilski and Conroy colliding in the waning moments of the UPMC Sports Medicine power play, and this lead pass for Walsh intercepted by Casey. Casey coming back as the penalty is almost over. Casey dangling. Casey centering. Side of the net, Bova couldn't hang on. And we are back to 5-on-5 as Walsh had trouble taking this lead pass from Bilski. This will not be icing. Spagnardi behind his own net. Spagnardi intercepted by Bilski, and Bilski sends it back in as the Crusaders tag up. Liam Walsh being called back to the blue line. Godlewski poking at this one. The Crusaders force a takeaway. Unger out in front. Unger, how good poke check there. I didn't see who that was. That might have been Tommy Liberta getting a stick on that at the last moment. Pretty move there by Unger, but didn't get a chance to fire it on goal. Walsh to the corner, trying to go. Now Walsh has it again, as he was trying to go to Randy Unger is what I was about to say. Now the Titans take it back, and up through center comes Bauer. Bauer with room down the left circle. Oh, Meshkin, I think, just got a piece of that. The All-Star senior trying in vain to keep his team in it, and a giveaway again to Randy Unger, the Canevin co-captain. But he can't hang on, and Matzinger will take it the other way, leading it for Leo Flick, who has the only CB South goal this period. Alec Nat up ahead for Langford. Langford dumping it into the zone. And Zolmanski wants a fresh defensive pairing out there as the Crusaders have it. And a kneeing call coming up against Bishop Canevin as one of the Crusaders was dumped at the whistle. Blaine Adams, rather, getting the gate, and the UPMC Sports Medicine power play now belongs to the CB South Titans. Not every day you see that penalty called in any level of hockey.
That's different. I can't remember the last time I've seen a knee call at any level, might we add.
And funnily enough, I've seen 2 of them in the past week after not seeing any all year. Spagnardi from center point. Krivek swiping at that one. De Laurentiis behind the goal line. It's sent side of the net for Liberta, who made that great defensive play earlier. And Adams will get it up ahead now to Krivek. Krivek taken over by Liberta. Good hustle there by Tommy Liberta. And he shoots into the stomach of Nikita Meshkin, who holds on with 1:16 to go in the penalty to Adams.
Back to the Twitter world, Matt, and J.R. Barone, the captain, in this first game here at Pegula Ice Arena, mentioning probably a line of yours in the post-game interview, saying that it's got to be the hair for him, mentioning it here on Twitter. So he's giving a shout out to you, complimenting his hair in the post-game earlier today.
It had to be that. It just had to be. No other way. And what a fine game he played earlier. 3 consecutive game-winning goals in his last 3 games of the season. You can't play much better playoff hockey than that.
Oh, that's clutch.
Big time. Including one today. Bayard Rustin, the new Pennsylvania Cup champs in single A. And a high stick on this puck as we have 9:23 to go in the double A Pennsylvania Cup affair. Central Bucks South clinging to a 3-2 lead over Bishop Canevin. Coming up later, LaSalle versus Peters Township.
And then as note right here, Mike Pill and Jake Bauer of this Central Bucks South team going to be playing in the Tier 2 18 and under AA National Championship in 2 weeks. So the shout out goes to them for getting that honor.
It's a great honor. And great to see players at both ends of the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I should say, getting to continue to do what they love at the next level, whatever next level that may be. From the left hash, 20 to go in the man advantage. Spagnardi to Liberta, side of the net, one-timer, off the side of the Canevin cage it goes. Pilla just missing his second of the night. And he resets to Spagnardi. Back to Mike Pilla, the big assistant captain. Up to Spagnardi. Final seconds. Adams waiting to come out of the box, but the Titans still have it. Spagnardi shooting. Meshkin doesn't know where it is. It's loose, and now the Titans have scored. I think Fleck got the last stick on it as the penalty was set to expire.
They always say pick up the garbage. They mention it in the Mighty Ducks movies, Matt, and I know both of us are fans of that Mighty Ducks series. They say you got to get the dirty goals. That's a perfect example of the garbage, dirty goals for Central Bucks South to put them up too.
It takes a special effort to get Nikita Meshkin off his game. That's one of the best goaltenders in Pennsylvania you're talking about. And the Titans have done just that. Give him credit. midway through this third period, they regain the 2-goal lead. We shall see and wait to hear if it is officially a UPMC Sports Medicine power play goal.
Number 66, teammate Regis, and number 82, Brandon Specdardi. 29.
Here come the Crusaders. They try to go to Walsh again, do the Crusaders, and that was Unger trying to hook him up, but it was broken up. And it is just barely not a power play goal, but manifestly it was, as Adams hadn't yet had a chance to really rejoin the play and help out his team. Meshkin didn't know where the puck was until it was in the back of his net. Here comes Clements dangling. Good poke check there by Brendan Adams, the Canevin captain. Taken now by Bosnick. Bosnick hit up high by Pohl. Stahl with it now for the Titans. Stahl deep in the corner. Side of the net for Clements. He's too well covered. And the Crusaders come back in transition. Randy Younger over the line, dropping for Bosnick. Bosnick to the net, shooting, toe save, rebound, cleared away as Walsh was hauled down, and a penalty is coming up, I believe, against Central Bucks South, or is the net merely dislodged?
It looks like that's the case. It was just barely off. There was a lot of activity around the net, so the nets tend to be sometimes a little loose. There was an instance here early on in the season in a Penn State hockey game where a goal was waved off because the net was off its moorings just barely a little, so that was probably the case there.
Blaine Adams getting his stick tied up as Callista sends it into the offensive zone. Coyne emptying his bench a little bit in his third period. His team with a 2-goal lead with 7 minutes to play, and a hard collision there right at the red line involving Bilski, and Bilski is still injured, and he's going to limp back to the Bishop Canevin bench. And he tries to make a play here on Jake Kellenson entering the offensive zone, but he just barely has enough energy to sit himself back down, and he'll get looked at as Meshkin has that one go off his body, and in behind him, it is Michael Lucas, the senior. Mutual of Susquehanna, the Titans have insurance.
Yeah, sloppy play by the Crusaders in their own end, and Lucas takes advantage of the opportunity given to him, and his fifth goal for the Titans in this game.
And that's got to be a kick in the teeth for Bilski, who was he was toughing it out and trying to do anything he could to just slow down that whole sequence. But the Titans were able to chip it in behind the injured Canevin defenseman, and they beat Nikita Meshkin for a 5th time today.
Titans goal scorer number 9, Michael Lucas. Assist number 47, Kellenson. Time of the goal, 10-19. That's Lucas from Kellenson. Time of the goal, 10-19.
And here come the Titans again as Meshkin has trouble with his puck, but he covers. Rebound control, a bugaboo for Nikita Meshkin in this third period, and it's really come back to haunt his team.
And I mentioned early on that he was saving a lot of second chance, third chance, fourth, fifth, whatever you want to say. All those other opportunities not necessary. And it goes back to that rebound control, Matt, that eventually teams that are this good, like Central Bucks South, they made it to the state championship for a reason. They're going to take advantage of those rebounds, and it looks like they've been doing that in this third period.
Kevin Zolmanski exhausts his timeout. We will take this time to remind you that from Erie to Wheeling, from Morgantown to Penn State, all over Pittsburgh and all over eastern Pennsylvania, 60 teams have skated for Penguins Open Cup and Pennsylvania Cup gold this year in Western PA. Now you can score big with the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and the golden advertising opportunities the PIHL has to offer. So if you're a decision maker for a business or organization and you would like to see your ad on this show or in any of our partner facilities, call PIHL Commissioner Ed Sam at 412-401-4725 or email pihlcommissioner@gmail.com. Help us grow interscholastic hockey, and we'll help you grow your business.
It seems like the Central Buck South student section, they were salivating for that state title, and they're 6 minutes and 16 seconds away from living up to that tweet that they're looking forward to that state championship.
Bishop Canevin, during the regular season, the least scored upon team in its classification. And really, they've been outworked today in the offensive zone by the Central Buck South Titans. This should be icing, and it is, as Adams and Flick stage a superfluous foot race. .555 to go in regulation. Again, Peters Township and LaSalle next here from Pegula Ice Arena on the campus of Penn State University. And stick around for the medals and trophy presentation. Here comes Randy Unger for Bishop Canevin, who is taken down. Walsh looking for this one. The big guns have come through for Bishop Canevin, each scoring a goal in this game, Unger and Walsh. But the dynamic duo has just haven't been able to carry their team here today. Lead pass by Brendan Adams in on King, the sophomore, who's had a very nice game in his own right. And he covers.
And you mentioned, Matt, that least scored upon team, this Crusaders team. They've only given up 5 goals twice this season. So this is unfamiliar territory for this team. Like you mentioned, Nikita Meskin, a strong presence in net, but showing his vulnerabilities here in this championship.
And there's a pattern in the first 2 games we've seen today. Each team from the East getting the first goal through 2 games and clogging up the neutral zone and just using really stifling man-on-man defense to take the Western teams out of their comfort zone, as this is whistled for icing. And Peters Township, we'll see if they can fare any better against the LaSalle Explorers. That's certainly not an easy matchup. The Explorers with the ultra-rare 4 regional championships in a row, winning their 4th consecutive Flyers Cup, coming from behind to do so against St. Joseph's Prep. A big character win for the Explorers there. Wally Muehlbrunner continuing the legacy, and that's really one of the most well-run programs in all of Pennsylvania. So an interesting challenge for the Indians, and we'll see if they're up to it. Godlewski's lead pass to Walsh, to Krivak rather, trying to find Godlewski again. And Spagnardi carrying it instead for Central Buck South. Near side to Don Bova it comes, up ahead to Jake Bauer. Bauer run into by Alec Knapp as Bilski takes it from his own boards. Near side for Blaine Adams. Lead pass intended for Unger. He's too well covered by De Laurentiis. Or that was Bosnick ahead of the play, I'm sorry. Alec Knapp taking it as Bosnick gets back on side. And we have a stoppage in play here with 4:07 left. Walsh and Bauer having words. Slashing the call against Bauer, so the Crusaders are actually going to end up with the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. It may come too little, too late, but they'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, you seriously, you just never know in this game of hockey, Matt. Me and you have seen multiple instances before. There's only 4:07 left, but you seriously never know how the puck will bounce in this game of hockey.
Matzinger can't clear it out. Unger has it for the Crusaders. Walsh to Unger. Unger in front for Godlewski. Couldn't finish. Walsh again. That was blocked, I believe, by Matzinger as it's pushed to the boards and gotten out by Clements. Adams swiping at it. Settled down by Matzinger and sent the rest of the way. Walsh hammering the boards in frustration as he is unable to take this lead pass, and the Titans will just rag time off the penalty clock and send it the length. This lead pass intended for Bosnick, again misfiring. The Crusaders just not in sync right now on the man advantage as we have 1 minute remaining on the minor penalty to Bauer. Centering pass for Walsh. Walsh firing just wide of the blocker of Aaron King. Cleared again. Spagnardi doing the honors as Coyne changes penalty killers. Under 3 to go in the game. And Alec Bosnick handles it near side before it's sent back in by Liberta. Canevin just unable to get any kind of zone entry and any kind of consistent forecheck going here on the 5-on-4. And a 2-on-1, possibly the other way, as Liberta comes back shorthanded. He drops for Bova. Bova to the goal, makes his move, denied by Meshkin. 2:21 to play, 14 to go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play.
Meshkin not taking a break, Matt, and still trying to keep his team in this, even though his team is down 3. Still making the big saves and trying to leave it all out on the ice in this last opportunity in his high school hockey career.
And for these Bishop Canevin seniors, an unfortunate ending to their careers after an otherwise remarkable season, earning the top overall seed in PIHL Class AA and holding serve throughout the Penguins Cup playoffs for their second Penguins Cup in 4 seasons. And that in and of itself was huge for this Bishop Canevin program, considering all the postseason demons, especially in the semifinal round of play that they had to exercise. Championships are rare. They are to be enjoyed. They are not to be taken lightly, and Kevin Zolmanski and his team can certainly attest to that. Back to 5-on-5. Steal by Langford. Loose between the circles, picked up by Bauer, who sends it up ahead. Meshkin is still minding his goal. So we're going to continue to play 5-on-5, it looks like, the rest of the way. And I don't see Kevin Zolmanski looking or gesturing toward the goal. So I'll go ahead, take a leap of faith and make that assumption. To the corner it goes. And taken now by David Cochran of Central Bucks South. Up and it comes to Clements, who scored the first goal of the game shorthanded. A harbinger of things to come. And the final minute of regulation is here. Alec Nett leading it for Randy Unger. As Brennan Adams dumps it in, and the Crusaders are guilty of icing with 44.5 ticks to talk here at the Pegula Ice Arena. Lucas to take the draw. And Michael Lucas pushes it off Meshkin, who kicks it to his right. Rajakovic with it around the boards, where Liam Walsh catches up to it and tries to set it for Randy Younger on a platter. Sent back in with 30 seconds left. As King pushes it aside. Nine seconds left, and the Central Bucks South Titans can go ahead, pop the cork, pop the cherry, pop anything else you got, because for the first time ever, they are Pennsylvania Cup champions. The East has won again by an identical final score of 5-2. Congratulations to Thomas Coyne and his Titans on a historic victory today, and congratulations to Kevin Zolmanski and his Bishop Canevin Crusaders on a great, great season as well. Ross and Santa, final thoughts?
It was just tale of 2 different games, Matt. It was back and forth early on, but Central Bucks South able to capitalize on different opportunities on the power play, shorthanded, burying dirty goals in front of Meskin. A complete game for the Titans and able to grab, as you mentioned, their first Pennsylvania Cup title in deserving fashion.
And now I will leave you in the very capable hands of Rawson Santa, our social media analyst for the day, as he will take you through the medals and trophy presentation. I will be back for the Class AAA Pennsylvania Cup final between the Peters Township Indians and LaSalle Explorers. For Rawson Santa, John Rubino, Ed Sam, Matt Popchak here. Glad you could be with us as well, and we'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you, Matt. So both teams at center ice exchanging handshakes. Central Bucks South victorious here at Pegula Ice Arena in the Class AA PA Cup title, shaking hands with the Bishop Canevin Crusaders, and teams wrapping up, and they'll be presented their medals and the PA Cup in favor of the Central Bucks South Titans.
You gotta come up there, Tommy. Take over.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the second of 3 games is in the can, as they say in the film business. Unfortunately for the Western team, it's not the Canevin can, but rather the Central Bucks South can. Congratulations to 2014 Pennsylvania State AA champions, the Central Bucks South Titans. What a game. Tom Behringer back here with you for a few minutes. We are listening to our rink announcer read the names of the runners-up, and that would be Bishop Canevin. And now they turn to the victorious Titans of, the Titans of Central Bucks South. Victors tonight, champions today in this AA game. They're being greeted by Eastern Pennsylvania hockey officials, Western Pennsylvania hockey officials, getting their medals. And then in just a minute, they'll receive the Pennsylvania Cup, the reason that all these teams are here this weekend, in this beautiful Pegula Ice Arena on the campus of the Pennsylvania State University. And we've seen another great hockey game. 5-2 the final. And in case you just joined us, this is the second game of our triple header. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we've got the AAA final. LaSalle College High School versus Peters Township High School. That game will be coming your way shortly. And if you're listening to this broadcast live, you will hear some other content between games, and if you're on tape delay, you will we'll be taking you directly to Game 3 of this this very exciting high school hockey weekend here at Penn State. Once again, we thank the staff of the Pegula Ice Arena here at Penn State. They have been terrific, allowing us to use this beautiful broadcast facility. No thanks to the guy with the cowbell. That's kind of annoying, but hey, they got to have fun too, right? There's the familiar Penn State roar. As we have just listened to Rodney Martin, rink announcer here at the Pegula, have a chance to read the names of the victorious Central Bucks South Titans in this hockey game. We'd also like to send a shout out and a word of thanks to the many people involved in making this broadcast a reality. You know, it's not just the people behind the microphones, but it's producer John Rubino, it's PIHL president Bob Sebastian, PIHL commissioner Ed Sam. We don't want to forget Lenny Santora, keeper of the cups, in his beautiful tuxedo once again as he presents the Pennsylvania Cup to the victorious Titans of Central Bucks South. Philadelphia area team. They win this year's state championship. They get bragging rights for a whole year. And now we see Bishop Canevin giving a salute to their fans, a stick tap to the very loyal Bishop Canevin faithful who've come quite a long way for this game, as well as the folks that came from the eastern part of the state to support Central Bucks. Reasonably well-behaved crowd for both teams. That's always a lot of fun. As you know, not every hockey game has well-behaved crowds, so we certainly appreciate it when that does in fact happen. And now they're taking the Cheerios photo down on the ice. Cheerios box photo. Wheaties box, I guess I should have said. Hopefully they'll get their own cereal, whatever that is. I don't know, whatever it is you people eat out in Eastern PA. But regardless, this is a moment that this team will cherish for a good long time. Well beyond when their skates actually touch the ice again, coming down from that cloud of celebration and victory. And then now here we see Bishop Canevin heading to their locker room, sticks in hand, a little disappointed, but how can you not be? This is the ultimate prize in high school hockey, the state championship. So it's kind of hard not to be a little disappointed, especially when they've had such a great season. A lot of talented seniors, Nikita Meskin, the Adams, just, you know, a great group of players. Gus Pepinitis, Garrett Godleski, a lot of seniors, Nick Rejakovic, and of course Randy Unger, who had a decent game for the Bishop Canevin Crusaders. But they'll get back on that team bus for that trip down the highway to Pittsburgh. And there they are, the victorious Central Bucks South Titans, saying hello to their fans. Hopefully not pushing on the glass too much, because that could be problematic. We've just got about 30 minutes before our next puck drop at 5 o'clock, which of course, as you know, is the AAA final state championship game, featuring LaSalle College High School and Peters Township High School.
A fabulous season and a fabulous ending to the season for a sophomore who's really played beyond his years. Aaron King, what was the book on Bishop Canevin coming in today, and how were you able to work the plan?
We had to play hard, get a lot of shots on net, and just play our game.
What impressed you the most about the way the guys played in front of you today?
We never let down. I mean, we kept on going every second, and it showed in the scoreboard.
On a personal note, what does it mean to be not just a state champion, but a part of your school's history?
We're #1, and it's the first time it's ever happened, so it feels great.
Aaron King with the win between the pipes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The special teams gods on the side of Central Bucks South early in this game. The Crusaders with a disallowed goal, and Brendan Clements a shorthander the other way. Sort of an omen of things to come for you guys. Can you take me through that goal?
Yeah, I mean, like, we always, like, our penalty kill has always been good, like, throughout the whole year, and we always just try to keep pressure, and we know they moved around good, so we had to pressure the team. But we got a nice fast break. Me and Liberta, we went down, and I called for it and put it in.
What was the key to playing such a good offensive game against one of the best defensive teams in Pennsylvania?
they got a good goalie, great defense, but we got to keep moving. We have great goal scorers on the team. Everyone can score a goal on the team, so we just have to keep going, moving, and just not stop. Keep going.
On a personal level, what does it mean to be not just a Pennsylvania Cup champion, but a part of your school's history, the first ever here for Central Bucks South?
Oh, it's the greatest feeling ever. Like no CB team has ever won this ever. So like in school, it's great feeling. Like getting like, hey, congrats, like ever. And in Pennsylvania, like we just won the whole thing. It's great. I can't even explain it. It's the greatest feeling ever.
Brandon Clements and his fans in a celebratory mood, certainly, as the Titans are victorious here at Penn State. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.
Already a fantastic postseason for Leo Flick, and he continues it today with a couple of big goals in the third period to help the Titans put it away and put away their first ever state championship in hockey. Leo, what impressed you the most about your team here today?
I mean, the unity. Everyone wanted to win for the seniors. It's kind of bittersweet, like winning, but you got to say goodbye to the seniors. So it's upsetting, I guess, a little bit.
What has been the key to your own success in these playoffs, do you think?
Just playing hard, putting it on in front of the net. Like I picked up a garbage goal there. I think that just staying home and working hard.
On a personal level, what does it mean not just to get to wear this gold medal, but to be a part of your school's history permanently?
It's an amazing feeling. There's no words for it. It's kind of...
We'll give him some time to find the words, and maybe he can tweet the PIHL Network some words. They'll have some happy words later, I'm sure. Leo Flick, another huge game for him in the playoffs, and the Titans are champions. Thanks, Leo.
Thank you.
Well, as the saying goes, there's a first time for everything. Just ask Central Bucks South. From all of us at the PIHL Network and for our sponsors, the MSA Sports Network, UPMC Sports Medicine, and Trib Total Media, I'm Matt Popchalk, and thank you for watching.
Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the PIHL. Trib Total Media. Get it right now. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe or visit us online at triblive.com. This PIHL Network presentation was produced by Rubino Productions, serving the community in ways you haven't imagined.